Right, so in about 30 minutes, I can't believe I'm saying this, but in about 30 minutes, I am about to finish Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. Now, when you're watching this video, by the time you're watching this video, rather, I am already live right now to conclude my experience, my journey through Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and its DLC, Future Redeemed. And I cannot believe I'm actually saying this, that we have gotten to the point where we have completed the base game and we're about to complete the DLC, Future Redeemed. Wow. I thought in my head, this was going to be a lot longer of a journey, of an experience, but I think with the amount of time that I've been putting into it and just the sheer amount of enjoyment that I'm getting out of it, I guess we're just about there. The conclusion, the big finish, the big finale of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. It's a bittersweet ending, I feel. Getting to this point was literally years in the making. I didn't think I'd actually get here as soon as I did, but here we are. All I can say is that my experience throughout this franchise has been overall a pretty special one. Ever since the day I started playing Xenoblade Chronicles 1, the definitive edition on the Switch, it's been a roller coaster of emotions. From the introduction of Shulk and Rhine and Fiora and Dunban, of course, and our journey through that game with those characters, their relationships, their stories, and their conclusion to now with Future Redeemed and getting to see some familiar faces again. That Ouroboros effect, if you will. We have literally come full circle with this franchise, and as I've said, it's been bittersweet. I've loved it. I've enjoyed it. And I think my favorite thing about all of this is the community that I've gained to love. You know, you guys have been incredibly supportive of this experience, this playthrough and the streams and the videos, etc. You have been so lovely. And, you know, as a creator, as an influencer, as somebody that likes just doing this shtick, I appreciate you. And I'm very grateful for that kind of support and love that you've all shown me these past few months, or should I say these past few years. There has been the odd few that have, you know, had a negative impact on my experience, but that is not enough to keep me down and not enough to overcome the positivity within this community. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for this just truly memorable experience. So, Future Redeemed, you know, it feels like fan fiction. It feels like the fans came together in a room and wanted to put everything that they've dreamt of seeing in the Xenoblade Chronicles franchise on paper and turn that into a video game. And that's what Future Redeemed is. They have fired on all cylinders with the fan service, and I think it is perfect. It is crazy fan service. It's exactly what we've been looking for. You know, seeing everybody together, like everybody's here kind of a thing. Like the Smash Bros. Avengers experience, and that's exactly what we're getting from this, and rightfully so. I feel like you guys, as a supportive community of this franchise, deserve that. And Monolith Soft, the writers, they've all delivered, man, and I am so happy to see it all come together. I don't know how it's going to conclude. I feel like what I've witnessed from the very beginning to the middle and towards the end was absolute peak fiction. Like, there is no other way of describing it. And I think if this is something that you've been with since day one, and I'm not talking Xenoblade Chronicles 1, I'm talking Xenogears, Xenosaga, like if you guys have been part of the Xenoverse of games, then I can only imagine how this makes you feel. I'm sure it makes you all warm and fuzzy on the inside and makes you so happy and ecstatic on the outside, because it should, and I think you guys deserve it. Me personally, I haven't been around or attached to this franchise for as long as so many of you have been. But at least I can do what I can do here, and that is share my experience, share my love and my passion for these games that I had the privilege of playing through for the first time these past few years. And sharing it with you and seeing all of you kind of bounce off these reactions and these feelings again, it makes me happy, because that's exactly what I want to do here. It's the same with every video game that I play for the first time. I don't want to just play it for me, but I want to play it for the fans and the people that love these games. And so you guys can get a fresh perspective, a fresh outlook, a fresh opinion, and also relive some of those feelings again through me. And I hope that is something that I have achieved with Xenoblade Chronicles. It is one of those games that I feel like people like me and people like so many people, in fact, that are intimidated by. I feel like Xenoblade Chronicles, when you first see its gameplay or its art direction, it can have an effect on you that I don't think helps the franchise at all. I think people judge this far too quickly. I, for one, when I first laid eyes on the Xenoblade Chronicles Switch case for the first time, or Switch cover for the first time, I judged it. I said, this looks like anime, and most of the time anime games are not very good. Maybe there's the odd few, but most of the time they're not. And I didn't think too much of it. I didn't look into it, and I just brushed it aside. And I said, you know what, I'll play Breath of the Wild, because that's Zelda, and I know people love Zelda, and this is an open world experience that I think I'm going to really enjoy. And it wasn't until like months down the road when people kind of, subtly mentioned to me throughout my Breath of the Wild playthrough that Monolith Soft had a hand in creating this world that I love, which is Breath of the Wild. And I'm like, who the hell are Monolith Soft? I was unaware of the works at the time. And then somebody told me that Monolith Soft created a franchise known as Xenoblade Chronicles. And then somebody else told me that Xenogears, if I'm not mistaken, maybe it was Xenosaga, but maybe it was Xenogears, was originally going to be the first original pitch of Final Fantasy VII. I maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like somebody told me that. And Final Fantasy VII is a game that has been with me for as long as I can remember. It's my favorite video game of all time on the PlayStation 1. Somebody mentioned that to me, and that's when the lights turned on. That's when the sparks started flashing, and I started getting curious about Monolith Soft, their works and their creations and their games. And Xenoblade Chronicles came into the picture. And of course, with what I was doing back then with Breath of the Wild and Nintendo Switch, I wanted to dabble into the franchises that people love. Xenoblade Chronicles was one of those franchises that I dived into, and I never looked back since. And I'm here now with all of you, about to conclude my journey with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Future Redeemed. This is it, the big finish. So you have an opportunity now to be a part of this big finish live on Twitch. I'll leave the links in the description. I'll put several links there so you can't miss it. Click it right now. Join me there. Rally behind me with the rest of the Xenoblade Chronicles community, and let's beat this game together. Because in just under a month, we're going to be celebrating the release of Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. And I can't wait. I really can't wait. And I know a lot of people have said to me that going from the trilogy of Xenoblade Chronicles to X is a very weird experience, because people have said that Xenoblade Chronicles X is not really known for its story. or fleshed out characters like the trilogy is, but more so its world and its exploration. And here's the thing. I love beautiful open worlds, and one of my favorite things to do in them is explore. So I've got news for you. This is ticking the boxes that I love. And if it's got great gameplay, great traversal mechanics, and just fun combat, I'm in. I'm all in fact. So you can expect a Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition live stream series from me on day one of this game's release, so we can celebrate it and play it together. You can play it alongside me, or if you want to play the game as much as you can, catch up to where I am in the streams and go even further beyond that. So when you tune into the next stream, you're already ahead of me and you are spoiler free. Do that too. I just want to be here with the Xenoblade Chronicles community now and be one of you celebrating a brand new release of another Xenoblade Chronicles game. And who knows where Monolith Soft is going to go from here, especially with the Switch 2 era just beyond the horizon. The things they're going to do, the games they're going to make, and the stories they're going to tell is going to be generational. And I'm going to be there standing side by side with the rest of you, the Xenoblade Chronicles community, anticipating the next magnum opus from Monolith Soft. I can't wait. I'm genuinely so excited, and I look forward to the future of not just Nintendo Switch 2, but Monolith Soft, because they're storytellers, they're world creators, and I just want to be a part of that. And I feel like I'm just about there with the conclusion of Future Redeemed. So join me now. We are live right now. It's going to be incredible. But overall, I do want to conclude this video by saying thank you once again to the Xenoblade Chronicles community for welcoming me with such open arms. Thank you for supporting this series, whether you've watched the videos, whether you've gifted subs to the community on Twitch, whatever it is, thank you. And I hope with the entertainment that I've provided, it is somewhat enough to make up for that support. So yeah, I just want to say thank you. Here's to the ending of Future Redeemed. I don't know how it's going to end. I'm excited. So let's get it done. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you live on Twitch. See you later, everyone.